This is Mark Hyder, and it's time for another
Sparkle. What's your name?
Hi there, Twilight. My name's Mark Hyder. How are you doing? Let the hair flow. Cut. Yeah, baby. Yay. You rock. Woohoo. And the time is now 10:49 AM. Oh, yes, when we get ready to leave for this last day of the con, last day of Buck. Well, something interesting to me happened to me last night. Yes, I left the con. I think around 12, okay, because I was asked to leave, okay, and I got out the con, okay, and I thought, let's walk home, and when I did walk home, I basically took 2 hours, 2 whole hours to get back. Yeah, Thomas, get your fainting, thing on. Is it Rarity or was it Applejack? Maybe a bit both. Aye. Yeah. And we'll be leaving soon for the last day of God. And wow. Remember, I just explained a couple second vlog, a couple seconds about an event that took 2 hours. Yeah. Not good.
Ladies and gentle colts, welcome to this book 2016 Day 2. Now, as you may know, I think I have a voice inside my head. And I'm sensing that he will be in this room at this very second. Now, if you may remember, I have my faithful companion, Derby. But unfortunately she wasn't available due to the feather flu. But I'm delighted to tell you, I believe she has now recovered. Derby? Hello! I'm here! Yes, Derby, I know you're here. And no, it's not muffin time. It's not muffin time. It's past muffin time because muffin time was 12:30, alright? Anyway. Peter New will be here momentarily. Thank you for your time.
Because I don't know, most of the bloody people are American. Yeah, most of my followers are American. Yeah. Come on. Pizza. Woo! 1 minute, thing, 1 minute. I'm not here. Pretend I'm not here. 1 minute. Oh, I need $3, don't worry.
I'll go in the middle somewhere. You can see we've planned this out in every detail.
Slightly tardy.
Hey guys, how are you enjoying Buck? Woo! A mediocre woo, like a... But I'm enjoying it a lot. I love being here. It's great. I'm so happy to be across the Atlantic again. It's always a delight. For this panel, they wanted me to kind of come up with my own thing. I've never had to do that before, so I thought what I would try and do is essentially answer in long detail. We'll just wait for these guys here. Can you guys hear me over that, or do you want to wait? Just sounds like. I wanted to essentially answer one question that I get asked an awful lot, which is, how do you get into voice acting? Right?
Audition.
And the answer that we usually give is something pretty pat, like, oh well, get yourself into an acting class, work hard, whatever. But it's really a much longer path and a much more unique path, so I thought I would tell you mine. And mine begins at 6 years old and playing with my imaginary friends. My first real, in a way, my first real acting experience is playing a character called Ruff Ruff the Talking Dog, which I remember I was living in New Zealand with my family, and I remember being in road trips and stuff and kind of fantasizing about this entire menagerie of animals. And I always played Ruff Ruff, who was kind of this ringleader, performer type character. And I always had my parents as the audience, but it was always set up very formally like that. And the reason I start there, I guess, is that in me there's always been that formality. I've always sort of set myself as the performer, even as a kid. So I wanted to start with that. Graham is here to ask me questions if anything is boring. I don't know. Oh, good. That's all right. Dude. Cool. Are you live? No one can hear Graham.
I think my microphone's on. Is my microphone on now?
Oh, there?
There we go. Yeah, I was just saying, quite frankly, I relate to this already a lot. For the record, I'm hearing this for the first time. This isn't pre-arranged, by the way. But yeah, no, immediately this is striking a chord with me, and I think it strikes a chord with a lot of people, quite frankly, in that people have characters in their heads, roles that they used to act out in their head, just part of imagination. I think a lot of people go with that.
Yeah. But of course, my parents weren't, stage parents or anything, so they didn't put me into anything. They just let me kind of discover it. Until eventually I'm around maybe 8 or 12, somewhere in there, and I get put into this, there was a theater troupe in Vancouver called Greenscreen Theater, and I got put into this show where I played a baker. And I had one line in the show. There was sort of a princess or something sitting upon a divan, and I had to go into the scene and say something like, we have cream puffs, we have delicious pies. You must come down to my bakery sometime. But I couldn't remember the second half of the line. I got out onto the stage and I freaked out and I couldn't remember the second half of the line. So I said, well, we have cream puffs and we have pies and we have eclairs and we have muffins and we have tarts, jam tarts, strawberry, raspberry flavored, many different. And it just kept going until I could remember the second half of the line. I got this nice laugh from the audience because I was cute and young. And And I left the stage feeling quite pleased with myself that I'd stayed in the scene. And I was immediately confronted by the director as I stepped down on the stage. And I just remember her getting in my face and saying, "What the hell was that?" And I thought, oh, well, I guess this acting gig is not for me. And so I stopped. I did not pursue it. And I thought, that's that. I don't want it. But of course, with all things that are inevitable, they're inevitable. And you can't stop yourself. So, as a teenager, I sort of fell into what I think is the wrong desire. I decided that I wanted to be famous. Are any of you out there wanting to be an actor, voice actor, anything like that? Yes? That'll be great for later, by the way. That'll come around. If you want to do it in order to be famous, check yourself, because that's not a great reason to do it. There's absolutely no guarantee. But I, as a teenager, definitely wanted that, and I couldn't be talked out of it. But because I'd had this experience as an actor where I'd done something which I know now as a professional actor was exactly the right thing to do. I would definitely encourage that of anybody on stage, to just stay in the scene until you get there. That's what you do. But I'd had this experience and I thought, well, I don't get it or something. One of my instincts are wrong. So I decided, well, I'm going to be a rock star. Obviously. Backup career. So this coincides with my very first trip to England, as a matter of fact. And thank you very much. And you know, I was old enough, 15 years old, I guess, and I'd written some songs, you know, as teenagers do, and they were just dire and melancholy, and I thought they were amazing, but they were just, you know, I look back at them now and they're hilarious. And so I went to, do you guys know where Peace March is?
Oh, Peace March.
Peace March? Yeah. It's outside of London. Near Rye, I think.
No, I'm thinking the wrong side, yeah.
Near Rye. It's where Paul McCartney lives. And my parents had friends who lived across the street and ran a flower nursery, so we were staying across the street from Paul McCartney, who lives on an enormous acreage, right? It's a huge house that looks like teeny weeny, and surrounded by this, and so I would, of course, naturally, because I thought you had to get discovered, so I would sing these terrible, melancholy songs as loud as I possibly could, in the hopes that Paul would come running down from his hill and be like, "You, amazing! You're the fifth Beatle." Needless to say, that did not happen. The same trip, though, we headed up north. We headed up to York, eventually to Edinburgh, and somewhere around York, my parents had another friend that they wanted to go and visit, who was what to me is like the quintessential fuddy-duddy old British lady, who, you know, all her furniture is perfect, and you know, there's a quiet in her home which is like a vortex, and if you do or say anything with the remotest impropriety, which is like a colonial 15-year-old, of course I did, she just hated it, which somehow she was not my favorite person. But somehow she found out that I was considering being a rock star / actor, because I hadn't given up on it totally. And she tut-tutted at me and said, "Well, you don't want to do that, because you're going to spend your whole life unemployed." Yeah. And I thought, hell with you, lady. I'm going to work. Right? Yeah. So I set out to prove her wrong. And I just thought, for years, I thought she was just awful for telling me that. So, I'll come back to that. But for the subsequent year, I actually ended up taking drama again in school because I was a little bit bored of band. I guess Rockstar wasn't moving ahead fast enough for me. I immediately got cast in some plays through the drama department at my school and was successful at it, did well with it. And so this goes back to what the original answer is, which is to say, get involved, you know, be up there, be doing it. And I also joined a local youth theatre, the Vancouver Youth Theatre, which toured all around the local area around Vancouver, as well as to Australia. We did a 4-city tour in Australia. So I was doing all of this stuff and starting to move forward with it, starting to get some sense of acclaim with it, because you're involved, and you get involved in a community, and you get involved with other people who are also interested in the same thing, and you make each other better by working together. So I auditioned at the end of high school. I auditioned for the university.
Do you ever find yourself writing in impromptu places where you're just thinking of something, you're like, I'm going to write this down, or whatever comes down?
I used to go everywhere with a book, and anytime anything struck me, I'd write it in the book. And I think something to do with having a phone has made me not do that anymore, because there's always a distraction in my pocket now, and I think I'm not as much in my head as I used to be.
Because I don't believe in banality. You know, I'd rather do something more challenging, or at least not talking down to an audience. I don't really talk about an audience. I feel like.
Well, and it's also like art just doesn't happen. Like I always have a philosophy that anybody can draw. It just, you have to have the dedication, the tenacity to get up every day and draw. Because one of my professors in fine arts, and actually even one of my animation instructors, had the exact same saying, which was, "You're as only good as your last drawing." So he's like, if you haven't drawn in a while, then you're only going to be as good as you did that last time. So if you want to get better, you got to draw. Contact from you guys at all, because I just, when I got the email, I was just like, okay, let me just check my schedule.
But that's the thing, is this is what we love, is just to get such the variety of it. I mean, when I mentioned this to you earlier on when we were just doing the quick planning for this panel, where I was like, oh, I'm not sure if this is going to work, you know, because everyone give a warm round of applause. Speaks to Nicole Montel. Thank you very much, everyone. Now will be an excellent time to go and chill out, get some food or something, and we'll be back for like...
You might me to mention something.
But I think it's too big.
Yeah.
Because I did that with Disney. I wrote some of my ideas for Disney.
Yeah.
But they just said, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's due to our copyright policies.
Oh yeah, I understand that. Careful.
Oh, I meant that.
Oh, you meant that?
I meant that.
Oh, I see. I need to go back to the vendors hall.
I don't mind them, I'm used to them now.
That Michelle Kruger, wasn't it?
Walking right next to him.
Yeah.
Big Mac, here's your sister. Good time,
She heard you.
It's that derpy, isn't it?
Bye, flag.
Oh, you're not getting that?
It's gone now.
Oh, it's a napkin. It's turning into a napkin. Oh, pretend. What?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear that.
What's he doing? When I go round, you go this way.
Doing that video.
I got it on video too.
Not Britannia, but anywhere else.
Maybe you should have signaled to one of us to get it back.
Oh my god. Time to be around here, man.
Okay, we're going to end this vlog now. Hope you like the vlog and my vlog too. I do have to say this before I go. Thank you for liking and sharing this vlog and all my vlogs across the YouTube spectrum. Bye bye. Bye for now. Bye. Bye. Everyone keeps copying me when I do that.
Anyway,
We're gonna beat Peter New.
who is right in front of us right now.
Oh, yes.
This is going to be interesting.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, yes, I bet.
Peter!
Hello.
I don't actually know if it'll be as interesting as you think, but we'll see in a sec.
Didn't see that one coming.
Peter! Yes! I knew you'd like him! I knew it! I knew it!